It's been about a month since I got my new shiny AirPods 2 with wireless charging. I've been using them almost every day as a replacement to the original AirPods that I've owned and loved since they were released over 3 years ago. So what's the verdict? Was it worth upgrading and spending $200 plus tax? To be honest, for me, no, not really, but there is one group of people who they do make sense for, and I'll cover that in just a bit. Leading up to the launch of these new AirPods, there were quite a lot of rumors. Health tracking features, sweat resistance, really fast wireless charging, and new colors. None of that came true, and a lot of people were upset. AirPods are everywhere, and most people really love them. They even have a 98% customer satisfaction rating, which is quite impressive. So with that, it's understandable that 3 years later, we want some new and updated features. Personally, I would have loved to have them in black. What we got was some minor updates. We have wireless charging if you spend $200, Hey Siri support, and the new H1 chip. To be honest, I wasn't really hyped for the wireless charging since I rarely have to charge the case compared to, say, a phone, but over this last month, I realized it is quite convenient to just walk into my room, and instead of dropping them on my nightstand, I drop them on the Qi wireless charging pad, and in that way, I never actually feel like I have to charge them. With that said, wireless charging is really slow. They accept 5 watts just like your standard iPhone brick, but take almost twice as long to charge because wireless charging is less efficient. I tested them side by side with the original AirPods, and after 10 minutes, the AirPods 2 only gained 8% compared to the original AirPods plugged in with a cord, where they gained 20%. As far as quality, I figured we wouldn't get any sound quality improvements since Apple didn't mention it, and I was already happy with the sound for an unsealed earbud. One thing I was looking forward to is faster and more reliable connections with the new H1 chip and better range with Bluetooth 5. The H1 chip does connect noticeably faster and slightly more reliably as well. One issue I had in the past was swapping my AirPods from my iPhone to the Mac. It would take a while, and sometimes I would have to hit connect a second time. In general, AirPods 2 are faster and more reliable, but they're not perfect. With that said, even a month later, I'm often shocked how fast they can connect. AirPods 2 with the H1 chip also have less latency, but you can't really notice it for music and video since your iPhone will actually wait to sync up, but this is definitely noticeable in games. As for range, it's not really any better. Sometimes I will leave my phone plugged in to charge in my room while playing podcasts or music, and then I'll go outside to do some work. If I get halfway down my driveway, AirPods 1 would cut out, and same thing goes for most of my garage, so I was really hoping for some improvements. Looking at the Bluetooth 5 specs, the range is rated quite a bit longer, but in my testing, it was practically the same. Well, to get more specific, I got 3 feet further with AirPods 2. Last, let's touch on Hey Siri. I've used it a few times when I didn't have my watch, and it works quite well. Delay is minimal, and it's definitely better than having to double tap to invoke Siri. If you don't have an Apple Watch and you want to have hands-free control, this could be a legit reason to upgrade. But personally, for me, it's quicker just to spin the crown on my Apple Watch to adjust volume, or lift up my wrist and ask a question without having to say that special phrase. I mentioned one group of people that could really benefit to upgrade from AirPods 1 to AirPods 2, and those are people who bought these AirPods right when they came out and have used them a ton since then. I was really surprised reading quite a bit of comments from people that said that the batteries in their original AirPods are now half of what they used to be. And since they love the AirPods so much, they don't mind upgrading to AirPods 2 and getting a fresh battery. If you don't need wireless charging, and I would argue that most don't, you can refresh your original pair with a newer version that's faster, more reliable, and with Hey Siri for the same price as before. Actually, possibly cheaper than that thanks to Amazon that now sells them officially. We'll leave a link in the video description. So overall, these small updates are an improvement, but for most people, unless your battery is dead or you can really benefit from Hey Siri, upgrading to AirPods 2 isn't worth it. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more videos like this one, click that little circle above to subscribe, and also go ahead and check out our detailed AirPods 1 versus 2 comparison or our Galaxy Buds Worth It for iPhone users right over here. This has been Max with Max Tech, and I'll see you in the next video.